Okay. Good evening, and thank you for joining the City of Kingston Planning Board at our monthly meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. My name is Suzanne Cahill. I am the Planning Director for the City of Kingston and host of our virtual meeting. Kyla D-Day is the Assistant Planner, and she will act as co-host this evening. Before we begin our meeting, we would like to go over a few meeting guidelines to help us navigate the system as efficiently and respectfully as possible. We're now using the Zoom webinar-based format, so all board members and applicants have received specific joining instructions as panelists. As panelists, you are visible and able to speak at the meeting. For those persons who pre-registered to speak by the deadline, you have been sent a link to join and you'll be recognized and promoted to panelist when you are called. All guests will be present as view-only attendees unless we promote them to panelists, at which time they will be visible and be able to be heard. Guests will have the option to use the chat and can be muted or unmuted. Panelists should control their own mute buttons. As good practice, we ask that you mute yourself if you are not speaking to avoid background noise and feedback. If a board member or staff wishes to speak, they will raise their hand. The chairperson will call on them before they speak by stating their name clearly for our audio listeners. The board member will then unmute themselves, state their name, and speak clearly, muting after finished. All of our meetings are recorded. Both video and written transcriptions will be available to the public on the city website at a later date. The meeting is also being live streamed on the City of Kingston YouTube channel. In lieu of public speaking during the monthly meeting, we had requested all comment to be received by 2 p.m. on Friday, February 18th by 2 p.m. There were two comments that were received, one from Mrs. Perna regarding item number 12, 264 Lucas, another from the Kingston CAC regarding the Hudson Valley Kingston Meadows housing. And those have been posted and circulated. We ask that those wishing to speak contact the office in advance of the meeting, so as a public hearing is called, those who have already indicated they wish to speak will be called first. For all those who are joining as guests and did not pre-register but wish to speak for a hearing matter, please text the following number, 845-443-0416, with your name and the agenda item number and address. Again, text your name, the item number and address of the public hearing you wish to speak on, 845-443-0416, if you wish to be called to speak. If you have any audio issues, you may send a text to that same number, 845-443-0416. I will repeat the number once more, but be aware, please, phone calls will not be answered during the meeting. The number again to text is 845-443-0416. As the organizer for today's meeting, I reserve the right to lock and pause the meeting, to eject anyone who behaves inappropriately, or to enter into attorney-client conference if needed. Materials for the meeting may be found on the City of Kingston's website by going to www.kingston-ny.gov. Once on the homepage, click on the meeting link in the calendar and follow the prompts for the agenda materials. I want to thank you for your patience during these difficult times, and on behalf of the Planning Board, I wish you and your family good health. I will now turn the floor over to Chairman Wayne Platt to call the meeting to order at 6:05 p.m.
Thank you, Sue. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the February 22nd, 2022 Planning Board meeting. We'll begin with introductions. My name is Wayne Platt, Jr. I'm the chairman. We also have members Charles Polacco, Robert Jacobson, Matt Gillis, Vince Archer, Emily Hamilton, and Sage Newkirk. Kevin Roach will not be here tonight. We also have, as you just heard, Suzanne Cahill is our planning director. Kyla D-Day is the assistant planner. Is Alderman Oliveri here? I don't know if I saw him on the list.
No, he is not.
Okay. Matt Jankowski is here. He's the assistant corporation counsel. Moving into item number 1. Vince, you're going to be in for Kevin Roach tonight too, so be prepared for that. Item number 1 is the adoption of the January 18th, 2022 regular meeting and January 31st, 2022 special planning board meeting transcripts and decisions. Everybody has received a copy of them. Anybody have any questions about it? Any additions or deletions? Seeing none. This is Wayne Platt. At this time, we'll make a motion that we adopt the January 18th, 2022 and January 31st, 2022 planning board meeting transcripts and decisions. Do I have a second on that?
Second, Chuck.
Second by Chuck Palacco. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palacco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
That is adopted. Okay, moving into public hearings. Item number 2 is 86 Gage Street. It's a subdivision of the lands of Murtash Incorporated. Section block and lot is 48.82-2-32. Seeker determination, zone R2, Ward 6. Dwight Trim, in parentheses, Murtash is the applicant. Murtash Incorporated is the owner. Anybody besides the owner or applicant wishing to speak?
We don't have anyone, Wayne.
Okay. All right. Is Mr. Trim here?
Yes, I am.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Welcome. Good. Let's see here. I'm just going into staff notes.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to just go into tell us what you want to do?
So basically, there's currently a structure, I believe it's a single family home currently on the property. So what we propose is to terminate that building, and Bernier and Larios already did their subdivision and put up two units on each lot.
Okay.
With this one, for the board, because it involves a demolition of an existing structure that would technically straddle property line if the subdivision were approved and filed, any approval should be conditioned on that demolition being completed to the satisfaction of the Building Safety Division prior to allowing Wayne to sign the maps for filing at the county.
And Sue, the demolition also includes disconnection from city water and sewer, right? Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. That's just about it then, Sue, right? Everything else is pretty good?
Yeah, the lots are fine. The proposed buildings meet the setbacks.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions from the board? Okay. Under seeker, it's a type 2 action, so no further review of the board is required. At this time, I'll make a motion that we approve item number 2 with board policy 6 to be signed, the written descriptions, the appropriate number of maps, copies, and Mylar. And Sue, what was that condition you wanted on there again? Just reiterate.
It would be your signature would not be placed on the approved maps until the demolition of the existing structure is completed to the satisfaction of the Building Safety Division.
Okay. All right. We'll include that too. That is a motion. Do I have this is Wayne Platt. Do I have a second on that?
Matt seconds.
Matt Gillis is a second. All in favor, Wayne Platt is yes. Charles Palacco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That is approved. Thank you, Mr. Trim.
Thank you, sirs.
Okay, good luck. Have a good night.
You too. Enjoy.
All right. Okay, moving on to item number 3. 88 Abeal Street, in parentheses is 90 Abeal Street. It's a special permit renewal to operate a bed and breakfast. Section block and lot is 56.43-5-4. Seeker determination, zone RT. It's in the Ronda Historic District, Heritage Area. Ward 8, Maria and Hendrik Dyke are the applicant's owners. Anybody besides the applicant owner wishing to speak, Sue?
No, we do not have anybody.
Okay. Is Maria here?
Yeah,
She is.
I'm here.
Well, how about that? There's a, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Okay. I missed the flower shop, I'll tell you.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. Was first approved in January of 2014, and the last one was last year, and we have to do this a year at a time, as you know.
Yeah.
Any changes, Maria?
No, everything is the same.
Okay. And you're advertising the same. How are you advertising your business?
I do not advertise at all. It's only Airbnb. So Airbnb,
Okay.
and I have my website, of course. That's all.
Okay.
No.
All right. Any questions from the board or staff?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. And no issues with building safety. Was there an inspection done, Sue, with that?
I don't know that an inspection was done. I do know that they have not received any complaints.
Okay. But historically, we don't rely on an inspection for bed and breakfast, right? Or do we rely on that?
They get inspected periodically, but I don't believe they're doing them every year now.
Okay. So under seeker, this is a type 2, so no further review by this board is required. This is Wayne Platt here. At this time, I'll make a motion that we approve item number 3 for a period of 1 year with all original conditions carried forward. Do I have a second?
Chuck, second.
Second by Chuck Polacco. All in favor? Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Polacco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is passed. All right, Maria, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you
seeing
very much.
All
All the
right.
best.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Night, Maria.
Bye. Thank you, Sue. Goodbye.
All right, item number 4 is 327 Broadway. That's a special permit renewal to operate a gasoline station. Section block and lot is 56.34-4-17. Seeker determination zone C2, heritage area, Broadway overlay district, Ward 9. Navjot Realty LLC is the applicant owner. Anybody besides applicant owner, Sue, here?
No one's here to speak. No.
Okay. All right. Who do we have representing?
Ranveer Singh.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you, sir?
Good. Good to see you. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Ranveer Singh, owner of the Navjot Realty LLC.
I'm sorry, but something happened with the speaker. It's reverber. I couldn't understand that.
Okay, Ranveer Singh, owner of the property, Navjot Realty LLC.
So he's representing Navjot Realty then. That's what I got out of that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Originally approved in 1995 and has since been renewed. The most recent one was in February of 2019 for a period of 3 years. Any changes there, sir?
No, sir. Same operation.
And you've just gone to a Valero station now, right?
Yeah, it's been about 5 years now.
Oh, okay. All right. I see 51 police incidents for this location, but a large number of them are traffic stops, motor vehicle issues. And building safety will do an inspection Is that scheduled?
I don't know that it has been scheduled, but we can make it contingent on a satisfactory inspection.
Okay.
And ask that it be completed within, I think if we said 60 days, it's reasonable. We don't have any complaints, so.
Yeah, okay. Okay. And are we, I see staff is recommending and extending the permit to 5-year term. How's the rest of the board feel about that? A thumbs up? Sue, you're gonna have to tell me if anybody thumbs down on that. I can't see anybody else.
They're all up.
Okay, so sounds good. 5 years. Any other questions from the board?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So under seeker, this is type 2. So no further review of the board is required. Wayne Platt here. I'm going to make a motion that we approve item number 4 for a period of 5 years with all original conditions carried forward and also a favorable inspection conducted by building safety within 60 days. Do I have a second on that?
Chuck, second.
Charles Palaco with a second. Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
yes,
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you in 5 years.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Item number 5 is 106 West Chestnut Street. It's a special permit renewal to operate a boarding house. Section block and lot is 56.34-11-22. Seeker determination, zone R1, heritage area. Or is that right, Sue? Heritage area there?
Yes.
Okay. Coastal zone, Ward 9, Chestnut Hill, New York Incorporated is the applicant owner. Anybody to speak on this, Sue, from the public?
I don't see Mr. Sanji. Mr. Sanji, if you are on the line as an attendee, would you send a message in chat so we can move you?
So he's on here as a panelist. I just don't see his camera, or I can ask him to unmute.
Hang
His
on.
name is here, though.
Oh, is that better?
There,
Yes.
yes. Okay. We got you.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Joe.
How you doing, Chuck?
Good.
I think we lost Wayne now.
Wayne, you're muted. I'm going to give Wayne a minute. I believe he's going to maybe try and reconnect. I don't know.
There we go.
Okay.
It kicked me off for a second here. Oh, God.
Okay, so we have Mr. Sanji on.
Okay, hi there. How you doing?
Hey, good, Wayne. How are you?
Good, sir. Thank you for coming tonight.
Definitely.
So let me just, I know there were some technical difficulties or whatever we missed you for a couple meetings, but glad to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
So everything seems okay here, but do you have a resident manager on file?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Joe, do you still live on the premises, or are
No.
you're not
Yeah, no.
residing there anymore?
No, I'm not living here. No.
Okay, so you'll need to submit to us the name of your resident manager and his contact information.
Well, I did do that. I did it through the building department. Isn't that where I was supposed to send that? It was a
Okay,
form.
we need a copy of it here as well for the special permit, okay? So
All right,
now you get that to us, okay?
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Sure.
And Joe, we've received a number of complaints from residents around the area, and, you know, we've sifted through them, and a lot of them appear to be, you know, police department matters. We don't know if they're associated with the property or not, but, you know, like I said, we've sifted through them. I know, and everything seems to be okay in that respect. Do you concur with that, Sue? Is that?
Yes.
Okay. Any changes there, Joe?
No, just always making the property look better, but nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, no changes.
Okay.
Joe, one question I do have is that when we first started reviewing this project, you had given us a list of house rules that each of your residents has to sign. Is that still is that practice still in place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
And that those records are maintained by the property manager on site?
Yes.
Okay. And they have not changed, have they?
No, if anything, I've added like more rules to it.
Okay,
I mean, nothing's been removed.
okay, then would you submit then an updated, just so that we have
Yeah.
the most current one in our record?
Yeah, I'll bring all that to your office.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody from the board have any questions?
Wayne, where do we stand with all the final inspections? I just saw some notes that I think building safety had asked for some items, and I know the fire escape plan and things were in place. Is that all up to snuff and done?
Are you asking me?
Well, it might be with Sue. Sue, where are we with that?
The last I knew, I believe they're waiting for they were waiting for a part or something for the fire escape, if I'm correct, right, Joe?
No, we had to have it inspected by a structural engineer. And
Right.
it was inspected, and it was some very, very minor issues, like a couple screws were missing, a piece of metal was missing, and it has to be put back on. But with the weather, you know, we haven't gotten to it yet, but we'll get to it in, you know, when the weather breaks. There's nothing that puts the fire escape or anybody at risk. It's minor maintenance. It's minor maintenance details.
And the building department has said that.
That's right. Well, the engineer told it to the building department.
Right.
Yes.
And was there ever a final inspection of the pool? Is that done, or is that still in construction?
Well, that's still but there's things that are not finished on it yet. We'll finish that up in the spring too. I really don't know what's left that has to be done on it. I think everything's probably finished, but just no final inspection's been called on it.
Okay. And if there were any immediate dangers with that fire escape, the building department would have addressed that with posting that particular area of the building. So I agree with that. I agree with you, Joe, on that.
Yeah.
Anything else from the board?
Hey, this is Matt.
Okay.
Hey, Wayne.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, yeah. I walk West Chestnut pretty much every day. Would be great if we could just have the house manager stay a little more on top of what's out on the sidewalk regarding debris and trash and whatnot, because we can see that when we go by.
What kind of trash do you see, Matt?
It'd be like fast food wrappers, soda bottles, beer bottles, or cans, that type stuff. It's just, it gets consumed and then just dropped.
I know they do that, and I tell them constantly to not do that. I don't know what else I can do. I mean, I put, we have plenty of barrels around the building for them to put that stuff in. And I think what happens is when they go to leave the property, they're carrying a drink with them or a bag of chips or something. And as they walk and they finish it, they litter. I don't approve of it. It's certainly not something I condone. We do clean it up when we see it. We even go around to the surrounding properties and pick up everything, whether it's ours or not. So, I have a tremendous investment in the property and I don't want anything looking bad either. So I don't, if you have any other ideas of, I can't I don't think putting a garbage pail in front of the property is a good idea either. And I don't even know that they'll use it.
Right.
I think what Matt is asking, Joe, if it's possible to have the manager who is on site be a little bit more diligent about maybe getting out there and picking up once a day or just checking it once a day to see.
Yes, that's easy. That I can do.
Okay.
And will do.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Any other questions from the board? All right, so going into seeker, this is a type 2 action. So no further review of the board is required for that. The term for boarding houses and rooming houses are limited to 1 year maximum. Everybody's good with giving a 1 year on this? Again, so you're gonna have to look at thumbs up. I can't say.
Yep. Good.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a list of things to be put on the approval, or just everything carried forward? And,
all the
and we
original
need
conditions.
those
would be
couple of
carried
C of
forward.
O's too. Yeah.
Submission of the name of the resident manager and his contact information to staff, along with the updated list of the house rules. Submit that to staff as well. And just a general note that the resident manager will check the, the outside and public walkways on a more regular daily basis.
Okay. And then I'm also sure that building safety will forward certificates of occupancy for the pool and the final inspection on the emergency escape. So,
We'll
all
follow
right.
up
So
with them.
Wayne Platt here. Yeah. Wayne Platt here. What Sue just described, I'm going to put that into the form of a motion to approve item number 5 for a period of 1 year. Do I have a second on that?
Second, Chuck.
Second by Charles Palaco. All in favor? Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco.
Yes.
Robert Jacobson.
Yes.
Matt Gillis.
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved. Mr. Sanji, thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys
All
have
right,
a good.
you have a good night, sir.
Yeah.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye. Okay, moving on to item number 6. This is 685 Broadway. It's a special permit renewal for auto sales and repairs. Section block of lot is 56.92-3-21. Seeker determination, Zone C2, Heritage Area, Broadway Overlay District. It's in Ward 4. Dago A. Maratz is the applicant owner. Do we have anybody besides Mr. Maratz here to speak?
No.
Okay.
I don't see Mr. Mraz.
Yeah, I don't see him either. He was supposed to be calling in, I think, from out of town, but
Okay.
haven't heard anything.
Mr. Mraz, if you're on as an attendee by phone, if you could put something in the chat or raise a hand. I don't see anybody, Wayne.
All right. Well, do we need to discuss this right now, or do we wait for him to, this has been dragging a little bit, right?
There was, they did do an inspection, building department, and there was a violation. They did not put a time frame on the violation. So we talked to them. I don't, Kylie, you didn't reach them today. Did you reach Tom today? No. Okay. So what he had verbally told us, it's basically a sanitation violation where the exterior of the property and the premises shall be maintained in a clean, safe, and sanitary condition. The occupant shall keep that part of the exterior property that such occupant occupies or controls in a clean and sanitary condition. They verbally said to us that they were giving them 60 days to clean it up. That 60-day time frame has not elapsed yet. I did drive by there today. I don't believe that it's been done. I would not take any action on it this evening in Mr. Mraz's absence, but I do think that the building department should be contacted again. We'll find out when that absolute deadline is, and hopefully they will meet that.
Okay. As far as, the responsibility for this board, can we just send a message to Mr. Mraz that, we're going to kind of go along with what the building safety has ordered him to do, a verbal order to remedy the situation within 60 days. And, we can give him a 60-day renewal right now, right? And have him come back within that, in 2 months and to see if those issues have been addressed. Does that sound acceptable to you? I mean, and we'll pass it on to the board members, obviously, as well, but.
Wayne,
Robert has his hand up.
I would say at this point, this is something that should be tabled since it's a building safety issue. It's up to them to enforce the outstanding violation. And until that's taken care of, I would table it. When it goes beyond the 60 days, if building safety still does not have any, if they haven't had any correspondence and it hasn't been rectified, then it should come back to the board and just be an application that gets denied.
So, I mean, when we table it, we should probably do it for a 60-day period, right? Would you say that?
I think we should table for this month and let staff come back next month and inform us as to when this deadline is.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
If the deadline is in, sometime this month before our next meeting and it still isn't rectified, then I'll deny it the next meeting.
Yeah, but it sounds as though, with the verbal coming from building safety, I know they have a lot on their plate down there. It doesn't sound like a concrete date has been sent to Mr. Mraz to have this thing rectified. So I know we're not the enforcement arm, but we can and I agree with you to table this thing and come back month to month and see where building safety is with the issue and go from there. That's right.
I agree.
Okay. Rest of the board, Sue, again, I can't see the thumbs up. Everybody else agree with that?
Can I make one suggestion that we close the public hearing? Because each time we continue a public hearing, we have to republish it, which costs us money.
Okay.
If we have not had anyone coming to speak in the last couple of months, I don't anticipate, and individuals can still submit a written comment in advance of the meeting if there is something that they want to bring to the attention of the board.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm good with that. Everybody else good with that?
Chuck's good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. So we will close the public hearing on that. I'm going to mention under seeker, this is a type 2 action, so no further review of the board is required. So this is Wayne Platt. At this time, I'll make a motion that we table item number 6 for a period of 30 days till the next month's meeting, and also to have a dialogue with building safety regarding the cleanup of the property and the time frame that they're allowing the applicant to perform that cleanup, and then come back to us for approval at that time that we find it to be satisfactory. I know that's a lot of words there, but that's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Robert Jacobson. All in favor? Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved. Okay. Moving on, item number 7 and number 8 and number 10 are at the request of Scott Dutton are going to be off the agenda tonight, but we want to have the public hearing on items 7 and 8. So just to have that done. So I'm going to read item number 7 into record and see if there's anybody willing to speak about that tonight. Item number 7 is 5 Abeale Street, 8 and 10 Post Street. It's a site plan / special permit to establish a mixed-use occupancy and associated site improvements. Section block and lot is 56.43-4-30, 31, and 32. Seeker determination, it's a type 2. Ward 8, Zone RT, Ronda Historic District, Heritage Area, CBSKI Kingston LLC, in parentheses, Charles Blakeman is the applicant owner. Sue, do we have anybody to speak on item number 7?
No, we do not.
Okay, Wayne Platt here. At this time, I'll make a motion that we close the public heaing on this. Do I have a do I need a motion and a second on that, Sue?
Yes.
Or just go ahead? Okay, I'm making a motion to close it. Do I have a second?
Chuck, second.
Charles Palaco with a second. Okay, all in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, the public hearing is closed on that. All right, moving on to item number 8, 16 Abeale Street, a site plan / special permit for exterior and renovations and site improvements, multifamily residential. Section block and lot is 56.43-5-19. Seeker determination is type 2. Ward 8, Zone RT, Roundout Historic District, Heritage Area, CBSKI Kingston LLC, in parentheses, Charles Blakeman is the applicant owner. Sue, do we have anybody to speak on item number 8?
No, we do not.
Okay. Wayne Platt here. I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing on item number 8. Do I have a second?
Chuck's a yes.
Charles Palaco with a second. All in favor? Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved. Public hearing is closed on that. All right, moving into new business. Let me get up here, speed up. Item number 9 is 33 Hone Street. Site plan to install a 6-foot high privacy fence and an 8-foot by 12-foot shed in the Ronda Historic District. Seeker determination, Zone RT. It's in the Heritage Area, Coastal Zone. Nina Marinova is the applicant owner. And who do we have here tonight, Sue?
Nina, I see her name. Nina, if you can unmute.
Yes,
And-
hi, how are you?
Hi, I don't know if you have a camera or not. You can, want to turn that on?
Sure.
There you
Hi
are.
there. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, even though this seems kind of cut and dry, we're gonna ask you, what's your plan here? What do you got for us? Please.
So I'm so, what do you need to know? This is the first time
Just
I'm
what
ever
your
doing
plan
this.
is. Just give us an overview.
Okay, so I just bought the house. I wanted to put a storage shed in the, if you're facing Hone Street and standing on the property, I wanted to put a storage shed in the back right corner. And on that same side, I wanted to install a privacy fence from the back corner, 40 feet long.
Okay. And Kyla, can you, where's the shed on here gonna go?
I
Okay,
had sent
Nina,
a
is it-
survey with the drawing of where I wanted to put the shed. I had emailed that.
Okay.
I might have that. I can look in my files. I have this with the application, but that might have come separate.
all
But
right.
Nina, it's
I'm
gonna
not
go in
looking
this
for-
corner here over in
Yes.
the,
Okay,
Yes.
in the right, and then the fence would go 40 feet along
Yes,
this
Okay.
property line.
exactly.
all right. And did this need to go through landmarks at all or no?
No, this does
Okay.
not.
Okay, good. Any questions from the board? Okay. Under seeker, this is a type 2 action, so no further review of the board is required. This is Wayne Platt here now. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve item number 9 with board policy 6. And do we need to show where the shed is on there, Sue, on the final?
We do have a drawing in the file.
Okay. Okay. That just shows proper setbacks and everything, right? Then that's really the only thing we have to do, right?
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
have
Board
it
policy
5 feet
6.
setback from each
There it
property
is.
line. Yep.
Sorry, here it is. I had the other application up
Okay.
before.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so really just board policy 6 is applied to this then, right, Sue?
Correct.
Okay, that is a motion. Do I have a second?
Matt seconds.
Matt Gillis with a second. Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
yes,
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. Ms. Marinova, thank you for showing tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, have a good evening.
Good night.
Good night now. All right, moving on to item number 10. As I mentioned before, Scott Dutton has asked that this be pulled from the agenda. Just make a motion to table, Sue. That's it for this one?
That is it.
Okay. Wayne Platt, do I read it into record too?
Please.
Okay. Item number 10 is 693 Broadway in parentheses 695. It's an amendment to the approved site plan demolition and new construction of a 1,544 square foot building along with site improvements. Section block and lot is 56.92-3-19.100. Under seeker, it's a type 2, Ward 4. It's a C2, Broadway Overlay District, Heritage Area. Radio Kingston is the applicant owner. Wayne Platt here at this time will make a motion that we table item number 10. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Robert Jacobson. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
yes,
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. All right. Item number 11 is 28 Hurley Avenue. Site plan to establish a ceramic studio and art gallery on the ground floor. Section block and lot is 48.313-1-28. Seeker determination, Zone C2. David Winecoop and Rebecca Reeder are the applicants and owners. Who do we have?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Welcome.
Hi.
So what building is this right here now? Which one are we talking about?
It's
Is it the old firehouse?
It's Sophie Runer's building, the monument building.
Oh, the monument place. Okay. Yes. Gotcha. Okay, so why don't you give us a little description of what you'd like to do?
So on the ground floor, it was, formerly, the Runer Monument Building. They made headstones. So we'd like to establish a ceramic studio and an art gallery in that space. It's about 2,000 square feet.
Okay. All right. I'm just reading through notes here. And I've driven by that building so many times, but it sits back so far, right?
Yeah.
There is a parking area in the front
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, it's kind of unestablished, but there is a parking, it's a parking area there. You can kind of see the driveway goes in there, and it's kind of overgrown a little bit, but there's spots. And it also, to the left, as you face the building, there's municipal parking right there. We adjoin the municipal parking lot there. So, right. Yep.
That is a municipal lot there, Sue, next to it?
It is, and we've talked about this with the applicants that with the upgrades that are coming to the stadium facility itself, this may become a secondary ingress and egress, so that parking may not be available in the future, but for the time being, it is municipal parking.
So
now, Sue, I know that the park. Are we talking about the stadium right now as being the municipal parking lot, or the one to the left to the property?
There's a small lot, the city-owned lot, to the side there.
Okay. All right.
It's a separate parcel. You see a couple of cars parked right there.
Okay. Folks, are you looking to do any type of additional parking in front there, or are you leaving it as is?
We plan to uncover. Everything's so overgrown. There was parking in the front of the building in its previous life.
So I guess it kind of depends, I guess, at some level, how the municipal parking works out and what will be required to do, I guess, with that parking area.
Well, the
If it's
plan,
necessary, we could do parking, certainly.
right. I mean, the plan, Kyla, if you can pull up the plan again that Bob Young had drawn.
Right.
Okay, so the plan does show that there will be a parking area
right in front.
provided out front. And so the question would be the material that's going to be used for that. Obviously, that it looks like all lawn pretty much right now for the most part. So would you be bringing stone material in, or are you anticipating paving that, or?
I think at first we'd probably do stone, do an item, an item 4.
Yeah. Well, that would actually be better for drainage reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
You wouldn't have to worry about that. It just becomes a regular maintenance type thing then, that you would just have to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sue, the number of parking spaces, I know it's not identified, but is that going to be appropriate for the use there then? Do they need additional parking?
Well, with the city lot adjacent, they definitely make the parking.
No, I know we can waive that if we need to, but
I'd
the
rather
number, I don't know.
I'd rather them make use of the municipal parking rather than pave, the entire or cover the entire front yard with an
Yeah.
item 4.
Okay.
I think if they
Yeah.
can get, 3 or 4 spots in the front, which I believe are doable
Yes.
easily, and
Yeah.
leave, some open space, some green space, that would be
Yeah.
much more appealing from
Right.
curbside.
For us too.
Yes.
And is there a plan to do anything with some of the shrubbery at the front? I mean, are you going to keep that as is, or I know it's kind of overgrown there.
Yeah, it's
what are your
overgrown. We
thoughts?
want to manage that. Again, it's kind of, we did have a meeting with Mayor Noble, and we discussed kind of briefly what's happening there. And we'd love to join in with the city as to whatever's the right thing to do there. But in the meantime, we definitely want to prune it back and, kind of get it maintained, because it is, unsightly right now, I think.
Okay. I just want to assure you that these are just standard questions that we're asking. I think it's a great use for that property. I'm just, like I said, these are questions that as a board, we raise to all applicants. So I think it could be a great use there. So,
Do you have any lighting planned for the exterior of this building? Given, I don't know your hours are in the application, but they could possibly go longer, and with the daytime, I'm not sure.
And we have I think there should be an electric plan attached to that. And I think on the corners of the building, we have motion lighting.
Okay.
So it lights up the outside, the building if people come in from municipal parking or come in and park. And then at each door, we have lighting that you would turn on from inside.
Okay.
And we liked the goosenecks that is it Harris Safer?
Yeah, the building.
The realtor has next door. They kind of point down.
Yeah, it's down lighting as
toward the
opposed to,
building.
yeah.
and what kinds of waste will be produced? You're going to have a dumpster out there? I'm not really familiar with what kind of byproducts are from ceramics, or what's the plan for that?
Can we bring in the 2 that will be running the studio and the gallery? They're with us now. We'd love to. Maybe they can fill you in a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, they are.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Want to just introduce yourselves, Lauren and
Yeah.
Chase, I believe, right?
Yeah, Lauren Aiken.
Chase Folsom.
Hi there. Welcome.
Hey, thanks.
Hi.
So there's no waste, actually. Everything in the ceramic studio is recyclable, and we basically reuse the clay in our process. So not really any waste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to be putting any equipment in, like ovens, baking, anything like kilns or anything like that there's going to be an exhaust that we should be concerned about to the exterior?
Yeah, so there are electric kilns that go in, and the exhaust systems are pretty simple. It's like a really small vent system that you buy actually with the kiln, and then it just vents out a window, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dryer vent.
Like a dryer vent.
A dryer vent, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, they're super efficient, I think, these days.
Yeah.
Are these kilns coming from across town?
The Baileys.
Yeah.
My good friends. We have some friends that were in the industry, so we got them from Sheffield, Massachusetts. But we get all of our supplies from Baileys.
Okay. Not that it matters. I just,
Yeah,
I
I actually went to school with one of their kids, so I know them well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
I kind of signage do you think you might have? Do you have a plan for that at this point in time? Or because the building is set back from the street, is there any thought to putting any signage, out closer to the street or something on the, I mean, right now there's some minor signage there where they advertise the monument business.
Yeah, we actually were just there today talking about this. Basically where the awning is, over the front entrance door, that space is kind of what we looked at today to do some sort of signage over there. So removing the bigger monument sign that's
Right.
in front of there. And then potentially 2 other just like small, like letters over the other 2 doors and windows.
I would think that signage could come back to staff, Wayne. There
I
is some 2
agree.
districts, so I'm pretty comfortable that we can handle a review of that at staff level if the board is comfortable with that.
Yeah. Can you go into the retail use there? What's your plans with that? How's that going to work?
For the, you want to go into the gallery side of it?
Yeah, the gallery is actually going to be artwork that will be for sale.
So that's
okay.
That's the retail component.
And just
really simple.
I mean, do they need to make an appointment to come in, or they just walk off the street?
Yeah, I mean, there'll be like standard kind of operating hours that happen, but we're getting on the Kingston monthly opening. So there will be an opening that happens the first Saturday of the month. And then most likely the hours will just be on the weekends for the most part. And then during the week, it'll just be appointment only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question back to David. The upstairs is currently rented, occupied, but not by you as the property owner, correct?
No, it is empty.
It's empty, okay, but it's your intent to rent it out as a.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're still, I think we're still working on what our next steps will be with that space, the second floor.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
But it's empty.
It is empty, yes.
Okay.
And until we kind of figure out what's next, it will be. So, yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
Matt here. This just looks like a really nice reuse of that building there. And so wish you guys the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're super excited about it.
Good. Lots of things happening in that area of Hurley Avenue right now.
Yes.
Right?
So many.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Good timing.
All right. Anything else, Sue?
No, just may want to require like the Knox box on the building, given the, I mean, I would think the work, the value of the quality of the work that's going to be on display there would be a good idea. The noise ordinance policy should be added, and board policy 5, which deals with the gravel parking areas.
Okay. All right. You folks are familiar with the Knox box?
No.
It's a box. It's made by Knox Company, and it's used. There's a lot of them throughout the city, and the fire department is the only one that has keys to it. So you put the keys that you want for the building inside of that, and if there's something that happens after hours, the fire department isn't breaking windows and doors to get in. They could just open access and in they go. So yeah, so pretty reliable system, safe and safe. So it's we're going to require that as well.
Perfect. Great.
All right. That's it then, right? So
Board policy 6, provide the 4 spaces out front in gravel, prune the landscaping and signage back to staff.
Okay. All right. I'll go to that second, but under seeker, we're going to say this is a type 2 action, so no further review of the board is required. And as Sue just mentioned, all of those conditions and board policies, I'm going to make this a motion. This is Wayne Platt here, that we approve item number 11 with all of those conditions and policies that Sue has just described. Do I have a second?
Matt seconds.
Matt Gillis is a second. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved. Folks, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the project.
Thank
Hey.
you.
We'll be
Thank you.
in touch.
Okay.
See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Okay, have a good night.
Good night, you
Good
too.
night.
Good night.
Okay. All right, under old business, item number 12 is 264 Lucas Avenue. Site plan to construct a multifamily apartment complex consisting of 4 buildings with 46 units and related site improvements. Section block and lot is 56.88-4-7. Seeker determination zone R4, Ward 1. SSLI Holdings LLC is the applicant owner. Robert Jacobson, you're going to be recusing yourself tonight, right, for this because you have business dealings with the applicants?
That is correct, Wayne.
Okay. So, Sue, we have Emily coming in as a voting member on this one then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's have the applicants introduce themselves.
Luke Interante, part owner here, developer applicant.
Okay.
Stephen Sanzi, co-owner and applicant.
Zero Interante, architect for the project.
Okay. Good seeing you, fellas.
John Capello, attorney. Hopefully we'll have to say nothing.
Okay. Hi there. All right. Let me go here. All right. So let's see where we are here. Sue, now we're gonna recap here. We have a bunch of staff notes. Where do you want to start on this?
Well, the recap in the staff notes was just basically to just restate that, at the special meeting, which was held on January 31st of this year, the board went through all the staff notes in great detail, and we did the full seeker review, and the negative declaration and determination of non-significance were made. At that time, the application was tabled and the applicants were requested to bring back to the board the series of issues that were discussed as we went through the staff notes. So what you see is a listing. They've done just that, with the exception of a few very minor things. One of the public comments that was received for this meeting was one that dealt with this project. It was from Ms. Perna, and it was with regards to the landscaping. The matter was provided to the applicants, and Luke did submit a response back to us with respect to that, and it was regarding the density, mostly the density of the landscaping along her property line versus the landscaping that abutted the properties that are on Bluestone Court. There is a difference. There's a difference in the land area. One is a retaining wall type structure that is tiered and landscaped at various tier points. And that's the one behind the Bluestone. The arborvitae are they're a different evergreen species. And it's also supplemented with smaller plantings. On the back of Mrs. Perna's, they are white spruce, with a dogwood at the end, and they're a larger tree, and they are spaced accordingly to their growth, to allow them appropriate growth space going forward. So Luke has basically said if the board is looking to change out that type of landscaping, they're open to that. I think that the spruce are going to provide a much nicer backdrop in terms of landscaping. And, you know, that's my opinion. I don't know how the board members feel. You can certainly talk about that at this meeting. I think that should be part of the discussion. But there's also been a sidewalk added in that area, a portion of that area for the, you know, pedestrian traffic, but it's on the inside of that land. The landscaping is between the sidewalk area and Mrs. Perna's rear yard. So, you know, that can be something the board should discuss tonight. If you want to go through, there's a lot of new materials. We can kind of quickly run through what they are, but some of the outstanding items that are remaining for the performance bond, which would be a requirement of this project, the applicants are going to have to issue a detailed cost estimate to us for the city engineer to sign off on, and then the board will have to accept that, and then the applicants will be required to submit that bond. They will also obviously have to pay a rec fee before being issued a building permit. That has to be remitted. The United States Post Office will have to give a final approval on the location of the post office boxes. They're proposing right now 2 locations for banks of mailboxes that are quite common that you see in multifamily residential housing projects. The fire department has to sign off on the bollards. They've met with the new fire chief, Ray, and so we're just waiting for him to give a final sign off on that. They've also met with the Kingston Water Department. Judy Hansen has essentially signed off in terms of allowing the board to move forward, but the final details of the connections and the locations will still need to be worked out with her. Trying to think what else I am missing. They did submit, and we circulated around today, the elevation plans, architectural renderings were drawings that went around today. They also submitted the building materials matrix that we talked about last month. That includes all the materials, and it specifies each of them out, calls them out individually. They also did submit a short video, which I didn't circulate to the board members individually, but we did post it on our website. I don't know how many of you might have had the opportunity to take a look at that, but it is there on the website. It's basically, like I said, it's a short video. I think it's less than 30 seconds, but it gives, you know, kind of goes around a building that they've designed with the architectural elements to give you the feel. Trying to think if there's anything else. We talked about for more information about the construction entrance. They've provided more detailed stabilized construction entrance details. Let's see, landscaping. They did submit an updated landscape plan. If you want to take a look at that, we can pull that up. The monument sign they've confirmed natural bluestone, and the lettering will be anchored on the face of that. Lighting will be in front of the sign. It'll be lit from the ground pointed up. Let's see, the site office will be in the basement of building 1. That was a question. ADA accessibility will be done in accordance with the New York State Building Code. 2 of the first floor units will meet all the requirements, and the remaining first floor units will be considered adaptable if needed. I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah.
We've provided a draft resolution, so I'll open it up to the board to ask any questions, or if you want us to pull up plans. Luke, if you want to add anything, or Stefan as the owners, I'll open it up to you as well for discussion.
Well, this is Wayne Platt. If we could just, Luke, if you can, or somebody on the team, speak to the type of landscaping that you're using along Ms. Perna's side and the Deedle property, and how that
I think we lost
you for a second, right?
Yep.
Are we back? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back
Yeah,
now.
it was
Okay.
right when I shared my screen, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but.
It may, but did my question get through?
Yeah, this is Luke in Toronto. Wayne, I think I got the gist of what you were asking. So along Miss Perna's line, we did get that comment, and I, like as Sue memorialized, we have provided a response. We basically have 6 white spruce that are a much larger base than the emerald green arborvitae. And ultimately, we're okay doing either. If the board feels that, you know, it should be something different than the white spruce that we've had on the plan for quite a while, we're happy to do that. We would just ask that that's a condition of approval, so that we don't have to revise the landscaping plan at this point. Along Bluestone there's been some clarifying notes on the landscaping plan, including some details, added some fencing details that were missing with the last revision. Also the dumpster enclosure fencing, and along Bluestone remains the tiered plantings, as Sue mentioned, with the arborvitae and some larger trees, and then some smaller shrubbery in the front.
Sue, the type of landscaping that you said staff was recommending, what is that? What are you talking? Just want to get some clarity on that.
It's a white spruce. Let me see, hold on.
So I pulled up just so everyone can see the difference between white spruce and then arborvitae.
Okay, so what Kyla has on the screen now are the arborvitae. They're more of a slender, taller, narrower tree. They do get spaced closer together. They typically are used more as a backdrop kind of use, but you know, they can be used more as a single line of hedgerow. And then the white spruce, as you see there, is more of a, you know, more conical type shape. And it obviously it has a broader width.
And those are spaced out how far? 10 to 12 feet, or every 25 feet?
No, those are, let me see. I don't have the map in front of me.
But you're recommending the arborvitae, right?
Well, the blue spruce, I feel is a nicer screening myself. I mean, but it's a personal.
So I think that spacing is about 10 to 12 feet on the.
I was going to say 10 to 12, right? But I'm just
Okay.
checking the notes. Yeah, 10 to
All
12
right.
feet.
All right. How does the rest of the board feel about the arborvitae versus the white spruce?
Luke, here's an option, and I don't know if it's possible. Would it be, is it rather than in a straight row, is it possible to do them a little staggered and maybe do a little bit of infill in a where you stagger them?
Yeah, that's possible. I think what we're looking at with a 10 to 12 foot at planting time, white spruce, you know, is a pretty wide bottom on that tree. So we had spaced them intentionally so that they could, grow and have room to grow. If we stagger them, it will be slightly just due to the sidewalk that's, on the project side of that tree line. And then we can add things in between there on Mrs. Perna's property line. Really, we're willing and open to do whatever, the board thinks is appropriate to bolster that side. We agree with Sue, and that was one of the points I made, that the white spruce is actually a more robust screening. But like I said, we're open to whatever the board prefers.
I mean, how many more trees would be added in there, Luke? I mean, I know they're.
Well, if we left the white spruce at the size they're shown and called for, we could probably fit another, shrub, evergreen type of a planting in between each one. So probably another 6 or 7 in between those. And that would be by offsetting them, toward the project side.
Yeah. And that's something you're open to then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sue, what do you think about that?
I kind of like that idea. I mean, I think a little variety also makes it a more interesting, visually. And I think it could be, from both sides, not only from Mrs. Perna's side, but from the project side as well. So I think that might be a nice way to, like I said, you change textures, you change maybe a little color, size, makes it, diversified. I like that a little bit.
And I can't see the rest of the board right now, faces, but how does everybody feel about that? Any comments or a thumbs up or?
Vince, you're on the tree commission. Do you have any thoughts in terms of, maybe some other suggested type species? I mean, we can work with the, the applicants to, satisfy like a different.
I think a mix, like he suggested, he could fit 6 or 7 more would be a nice kind of borderline for, with the white spruce and the arborvitaes. But the last time we talked, I thought they had indicated about some hardwoods being planted in there as well. And I'm not sure where they are, but.
Not on that line. This is Luke and Toronto again. Vince, not on that line. I don't recall. I mean, unless I was confused at the time. I remember the conversation. We do have some what are considered hardwood species on the landscaping plan. Those are noted.
But not on that border though, right? It's just
not on that specific side.
Yeah. But that specific side sounds like a good plan if you do a mix.
Yeah. So I think we'll agree to 6 to 7 along, favoring that side on the white spruce, Mrs. Perna's side, and then Sue, to your point, that also on the Bluestone Common side that we add some. So in total, I'm making a note that we're happy to add 14 to 16 plantings there, staggered in between those white spruces.
Rest of the board, good with that? You'll have to let me know so I can't see anybody.
Yeah, they're all giving me thumbs up.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you, Luke and Ciro and Stefan for that.
Let's talk about the architectural elevations, the renderings. I know they just went out today. You haven't had a whole lot of time to look at them. Maybe Kyla, can you pull up the rendering real quick? All right. So as you can see, I mean, there's on the bottom, there's a stone water table base around the perimeters of the building. And then they've got different colors and building materials and textures. You've got some siding that's going parallel, some going perpendicular. For interest, you've got some different window shapes. You've got entryways with different styles. What do board members think about this? Matt, what are your thoughts? So you got an eye for architecture.
Well, this looks nice to me. I mean, it's earth neutral. I think it works nicely.
Okay. Chuck, any thoughts?
It looks nice to me also. No additional thoughts.
Okay. These are some of the materials Kyla just popped up real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to refer to that. I mean, this is Wayne Platt. I like the colors of those materials as well, with the building and also the building facade and the paver areas too. I think that's a nice mixture of grays and whites there. Entry doors look beautiful, I think. I think the choice of colors is great.
Yeah, the course of the bluestone on the bottom of the structure. I mean, it gives the nod to the bluestone industry that was here, and it's just the grays and the blues. Everything all just pulls together nicely.
I like that. I do like that feature with the bluestone.
Emily, what about you? You'll be voting on this. Do you have any thoughts on the overall project or the design?
I also do like the bluestone at the bottom. I don't know how much has been talked about the level of energy efficiency in terms of the building envelope or heat pumps or what's being done in terms of that. I don't know if that's been brought up on previous meetings.
Okay, maybe Luke, you can address that.
Yeah, we have discussed it earlier on. I think the past several months we've been tied up with site stuff, but earlier last year it was discussed in detail. So we are designing to meet or exceed current energy codes. So a well-insulated product, we're using spray foam exceeding our values that are required. It's a full heat pump project. And, our standard of construction is a little bit, we like I said, we try to exceed the energy code 2020. So, R60 roofs and continuous exterior siding or exterior sheathing insulated. So an R6 zip product. And then a full cavity filled closed cell, or sometimes a hybrid of closed cell and open cell on the walls, quality window that exceeds all the energy standards, and combine that with the heat pumps. And we think it's going to be a very efficient project.
But not triple pane windows.
Not triple pane, no.
Yeah, like passive house.
Yeah.
We're almost getting with R60. That's pretty good.
Yeah, for the roof system. Yep.
Yeah. And then my other questions were about the affordable housing. There's going to be 4 units, correct?
There's going to be 5 because
5 units. Right.
Yeah, we have 46 units. So, the 10% would be 4.6. So we rounded that up to 5 units.
Oh, okay. Yep. And are those going to be 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms? What AMI?
It's going to be a mix. They're not segregated. It's done via the application process. So we will, we will take 5 for whichever, wherever they fit.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Wayne, I'm not seeing anybody.
Okay. we are, all of these items that you mentioned before, Sue, the mailboxes, the bollards, the water department, rec fee, those are going to be incorporated into the draft resolution, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing that is not in the resolution, obviously, is the plantings, which we can amend the resolution to incorporate that the additional plantings, 14 to 16 new plantings, will be added along the rear property line to the abutting property line with Ms. Perna. And we
Okay.
can work out that design at staff level.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay. I think we are ready to move on to the resolution. Right, Sue? We don't have anything else?
I don't, unless any of the board members do.
No, I think we're good. Nobody's raising any more issues. So thumbs up from everybody. We're ready to move on to the resolution. And Sue, you're going to have to let me know. Thumbs up all over.
Yes.
Okay. You want me to read it? Please.
Unless you would like me to.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I brought extra coffee and water so I can wet the whistle. So, all right. All right. So Wayne Platt here. I have a resolution of the City of Kingston Planning Board approving the site plan for Bluestone Commons located at 264 Lucas Avenue. Section block and lot is 56.88-4-7. Whereas SSLI Holdings LLC, the applicant, submitted an application to the City of Kingston Planning Board for site plan approval of a 4-building. Is this the correct number there, Sue, the 47?
No, 46. I apologize.
Okay. Nope, we're going to use a 46 residential multifamily dwelling apartment complex with related site and utility improvements on a 2.7 acre parcel with frontage on Lucas Avenue and Bluestone Court. And whereas the project is located at 264 Lucas Avenue, New York, section block and lot 56.88-4-7. And whereas the planning board received the application and supporting documentation for said development proposal in January of 2021, with supplemental information being submitted over the course of multiple meetings through December 2021. And whereas the planning board reviewed advisory comments from the Ulster County Planning Board, and whereas the planning board opened a public hearing on February 16th, 2021, and it remained open until being closed on December 20th, 2021. And whereas the planning board required a separate traffic impact assessment be completed to evaluate the concerns of the general public, and whereas all public comment, supporting documentation, plans, relevant studies, and meeting documents are posted to the City of Kingston website for access by the public. And whereas the planning board identified the project to be an unlisted action under seeker, however, a full environmental assessment form and supplemental information was required for the determination of non-significance issued on January 31st, 2021.
2022.
And, I'm sorry, yes, 2022. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the City of Kingston Planning Board as follows. Section 1, after thorough review of all documentation and public comment, the board votes to approve the site plan. Section 2, approval shall include all conditions as follows. Submission of a detailed cost estimate for review and approval of the city engineer prior to acceptance by the planning board. Submission of performance bond in the amount so defined by the city engineer in a form sufficient to planning staff and the corporation council prior to issuance of any building permits. Approval of the City of Kingston Fire Department on the emergency access off Lucas Avenue. All improvements within the public right-of-way have final sign-off by the Department of Public Works. Kingston Water Department issues final sign-off. The following board policies will be policy 1A, which is stormwater, policy 2, tree removal and replacement, policy 3, 3A and 3B, which are as-built plans and performance bond, policy 4 and 4A dealing with lighting, policy 6, affirmation of compliance with approved plans, policy 7 and 7A, approval of timeframes, policy 8 and 8A, clerk of the works and project directory, policy 9, survey markouts, policy 12 is dumpster pickup, policy 13, maintain accurate contact information, policy 14 and 14A, dig safely on plans, utility contact, policy 15 is zoning data, policy 17 and 17A is contact with school district and landlord registration, policy 18 is recreation fee, 18A is recreation fee sign statement, policy 19, noise ordinance compliance, policy 20, consulting fees if required, policy 22, carbon monoxide detectors, policy 25 is a Knox box, and policy 26, acquire building permit in required time frame. Compliance with all mitigation measures as defined in the adopted negative declaration of environmental significance of January 31, 2022 by the Kingston Planning Board. Accept the applicant's April 19th, 2021 response to the advisory comments of the Ulster County Planning Board as satisfying the referral. Compliance with the mayor's executive order of December 2020 and subsequent resolution 23 of 2021 as adopted by the Common Council to provide 10% affordable housing, which is 5 units. Assess a payment in lieu of parkland fee of $126,000, which is the recreation fee, to be remitted prior to the issuance of any permits for construction. Submission of final mailbox design as per United States Postal Service. Submission of reports cited in secret documents prepared by Mr. Bridges, in parens MRA, for the record. Conformance with final building colors and materials as submitted under date of February 21st, 2022. Conformance with all plans and specifications as submitted as of February 22, 2022, which is C, in parens C attachment A, unless otherwise noted herein. Compliance with SWIP dated November 2021. As-built drawings will be certified and provided to the planning office for all newly constructed and installed plan elements prior to any bond release or within 30 days of issuance of a certificate of compliance. Section 3, approval of planning board does not eliminate the need for obtaining the appropriate permits and approvals from other boards, commissions, departments, and relevant agencies. Section 4, that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Wayne Platt here, I will make a motion that we adopt this resolution. Do I have a second on that?
Matt seconds.
Matt Gillis with a second. All in favor? Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Polanco? Is he there?
Check, you're muted.
I was muted, yes.
Okay. Matt Gillis?
Yes.
Vince Archer?
Yes.
Emily Hamilton?
Yes.
Okay, that is adopted. All right. Thank you to the applicants. We appreciate you taking into consideration all of the thoughts and concerns of the neighbors and also staff and the board members themselves. Wish you good luck with the project.
Thank you to the board, everyone, for all your time and effort on this. It's been a long journey, and we appreciate all the feedback and the evolution of the project to where it is today. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. This is awesome for Kingston here. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, board members and planning board. Thank you very much.
Good night,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you all.
We'll be talking.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Moving on. I got to get back to my notes here. Item number 13. Stand by. All right. Item number 13 is 199 rear Hurley Avenue and 203 and 205 Hurley Avenue and 493-495 Washington Avenue. It's a request to reaffirm the planning board January 14th, 2013 Nycrr negative declaration decision. Section block allowed is 48.70-1-7.200, 48.71-2-1, 48.70-1-15.2, 48.70-1-15.1. It's zoned O2, Ward 1, Hudson Valley Housing Development Fund is the applicant owner. All right. Peg, are you there?
Yes, Javid is.
Javid,
Javid, John
How are you?
Swartz,
Good to see everybody again.
Good.
Thanks for having us one time.
Larry, and Peg.
Okay.
Is Ted, I don't see Ted, and I'm not
Ted's not in. He
seeing.
got called into an in-person planning board meeting, which sounds strange these days. But we also have Mike Nowicki on the line as well.
Okay. Javid, do you want to open the discussion on where we are with things now?
Sure, absolutely, Chairman. So last time we were here in January, we had submitted on behalf of HVH a whole set of reports and studies updating the Nycrr. That resulted in a good conversation, followed up with some additional comments from Ms. Cahill's staff. We took some time and addressed those comments. We submitted those in February 2 of this month. I think we are here to discuss the staff's comments and anything additional that the planning board might have tonight.
Okay. So we have a determination from Corp Counsel on this, right? Do we have something?
Right, yeah, Matt was on the line. He had to step away. One thing that the board had requested when Javid had submitted was a legal analysis of the review of the project and how it is impacted by the recently adopted comprehensive plan, as well as the open space plan. So Javid submitted his analysis and citations to case law. And we had Matt look at that, Matt Jankowski, as the city's assistant corp counsel, and he concurred with the conclusions that the applicant's attorney brought forth, that this is consistent with the comprehensive plan and as well as the open space plan. He also looked at the documentation that was provided in terms of the zoning variance. It was an area variance that had been granted way back when, and we looked at the transcripts of that and spoke with the zoning enforcement officer, and the Matt has also agreed that that variance still stands. So that is carried forward as well. So there's no need to go back to that. So those were the two key things on his end. As I said, he had to step away, but he is available if we need him as part of this discussion. So I think the best way to start might be just to look at the one comment that did come forward to the board, was brought to the board, and that was from the city's CAC. the Conservation Advisory Commission. And in that comment, they went back and reiterated earlier statements and submissions that were done back in 2012 prior to the board issuing their original determination of negative significance, non-significance. The one that was subsequent to that was in 2016. That's the one that I addressed in the staff notes. And I know they only went out to you late this afternoon. I apologize for that lateness of the notes, but
All right.
I addressed each of the points. I don't know if you have any questions or if Javid, we also sent it to you if you wanted to speak to those 3 points to the board as well.
Larry's here to address those points as well.
Oh, hi. Okay, Larry, would you like to just speak to them, or you're muted, Larry?
I'm sorry, Sue. I don't know that I've seen those comments. Larry, they should be in your email box. Javid, I don't see them. Could you resend them? I'm sorry about that. Send them to the Podgy07 at AOL. That'll come right to me.
Larry, they came in, I think, around 5:45.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them.
Larry, they went to Jamie's email.
Okay, can somebody just quick shoot them over from Podgy to Podgy07?
Okay, well, while you're looking for that, why don't we have the board maybe move on to another question.
So were there some typos that were found?
Yeah, there was and
communications?
Mike, I believe, is Mike on the phone with one of you, or is he on the phone as an attendee?
Looks like his number is up on an attendee, and I'm not sure if he can talk in. Mike, can you hear us? Can you respond?
I can move him.
I just allowed him to talk if it's this 203 number. So he should be able to,
Yeah.
he should be able to unmute.
Mike, if your number ends in 716, if you can unmute, *6 should unmute you and allow you to speak.
Ah.
There you go. Mike, can you hear us? Mike?
I can respond to the CAC comments anytime you guys are ready.
Okay, all right. And then Mike, hopefully we'll work on getting you to hear you. So, okay, Larry, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, these are identical to the old comments. It looks like they just reissued. It kind of surprises me that they make comments like this that are really not founded on anything technical. The amount of sediment within the floodplain to reuse on the project development site at grade elevation increase has the following negative impacts. Massive earth excavation will erosion control on a site comprising water quality. An erosion and sediment control plan is the substance of what the city engineer and the DEC review and the SWIP, and it's all to current standards, and there's no concern with massive excavation or water quality as a result of erosion. As far as regrading the site will change topography, it absolutely will.
And we've demonstrated that not only are we not going to impact the flood, but as evidenced in the prior city engineer's letter or review letters, we're increasing flood storage on site by those modifications, topography. Again, not really, they're making.
Maybe it would be helpful, and I put in the notes that, you know, with physical installations and best management practices, there's also regular monitoring and record keeping. Maybe you could just talk a little bit about that. Well, during construction, you know, what kind of measures are in place and how you intend to monitor that, to give the board a feel or a sense of what occurs, how the SWIP actually works in the field.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, as soon as any land disturbance activities happen, start to occur on site, there is continuous monitoring that occurs. First of all, the contractors that are on site are required to be trained in erosion and sediment control, and they're required to certify that they're familiar with the SWIP and its requirements. We, as PEG's consultant, engineering consultant, are on top of that and checking with them, and we will be making weekly, if not more frequent, observations of how they are maintaining those practices, and it's documented. And it's been our practice every week when we visit the site and prepare a report that we submit that directly to the site contractor, so they're aware of any deficiencies that we've seen. And we also submit it to the municipality so they can see what we're seeing, and so if the municipality comes out to the site, they don't, you know, they're completely aware of what's happening. So that's not because we're good guys or we do that. That's a requirement. Those are state regulations. So, you know, sometimes they're not employed the way they should, but you know, it's been our practice that we're there frequently, and you know, I'm struggling talking about this a little bit, Sue, because it's kind of old hat. It's been on the books since 2005, and
right.
And,
I think I thought it would be good just to give a general overview, so that, I mean, we talk about SWIP all the time and how the engineer approves it, you know, but I think for the board to have a little bit of an understanding about how it's actually, you know, what it is, what the document is, and what happens, you know, how it's used is important. It gives them kind of more of a sense. Like if there's a breach and there's a breach in a silt fence or anything, and it's recognized, it's recorded, and then it's also repaired, and that record is maintained in the field and is also provided to the city engineer.
Absolutely.
So, and the DEC is there periodically. I guess they show up for inspections, so they're kept in a field office as well. So
right.
I just thought that would be a good kind of.
No, that is, and the document itself consists of the design plans. It also consists of the report that we prepared, the SWIP report that was reviewed and approved.
Right.
And it consists of the daily documents and actually a plan that is developed and updated every week. That shows what areas have been disturbed, what areas are stabilized, identifies any issues or any deficiencies that might be occurring. We don't just look at silt fence, we look at dust, we look at tracking onto the road, anything that could impact water quality, whether it be directly to the stream or whether it be airborne or whether it be through the storm sewer system. So you know, it's standard operating procedure is what we should be doing, and that's what we do.
Right. You know, it's like Wayne lost his camera.
You know, that last item about the weather events, boy, we beat that one to death. We've been out in the field. I've been out in the field personally. Ted Fink's been out in the field personally. Ralph Swenson's been out in the field personally. There's plenty of documents in the city's records about photographs we've taken during those events. We've gone on record saying that we have never seen floodwaters during those significant events that are mentioned that are anywhere near what they're even the FEMA maps are showing. They're really confined to the lower wetland areas. But regardless, the site is designed with the high water elevation in mind. That's stipulated in the flood insurance study. And just to give this board a quick overview, we're required to be 2 feet above the flood elevation. The building is going to be 6.5 feet above the flood elevation. The parking area is well above the flood elevation. All aspects of the site are above the FEMA listed flood elevation. And again, to reiterate, during those flood events, the worst of which was a back-to-back tropical storm event. I think it was Lee and Irene. I don't remember the names now, but we were out there, and Ralph even made some reference to the flood wall down at Kingston Plaza relative to the site and what he observed. So that has all been documented and addressed.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, can we see if we can get Ecological Solutions? Can you hear us now? Are you able to speak? I can't.
I'm texting him too right now to see if there's something I can do to help.
And while Mike is getting on, we did have a conversation with him, and what that typo was, Chairman Platt, was that he had prepared the letter to ACOE in December 22nd, but held off on sending it until he had the updated map, which was I think around January 20th. He shot off those maps, but just never updated the date on his letter. So
okay,
the letter will show that while it was dated December 22nd, it has a map reference of January 19th, 2022. The map reference date is absolutely correct, and it was shot off after, obviously, the map was revised and generated. He just never revised the letter date. That applies to both. So I think if he gets on, that's what he's.
Okay, so if he could get us some the new letter with the correct date when he actually did transfer.
Sure, yeah, I can put that in writing, but the letter already went out to ACOE.
Oh, okay.
So
Then just
it's not
just
like,
something so we have it on record. So
okay,
it doesn't look like
fair
it
enough,
was. Yeah. Okay. And hopefully we'll get him on the line and he can kind of, if there's any updates beyond that, because if from Army Corps, if anything has happened, would like to know that. We also talked a little bit today about I know this goes to the construction timeframe. It was mentioned 15 months in one of Ted's responses. So I'm curious if that, with the material sourcing and all of that, obviously you want to be thinking about that. I realize that we're going to be coming for site plan review. And I wanted to ask also when you think that might be happening, when you might be coming back to this board.
Sure, and I guess just to remind the board where we are at. What we're asking the board to do right now is to reaffirm the Secra that it had done back in 2013. Having spoke with Director Doyle from the County Planning Department, last month he had mentioned that our request for the crossing easement was before the County Executive's Office. Just this month, actually, just a couple of days ago, he let me know that it's now going to be, a resolution was posted. It's going to be up on the county's website and considered by the counties in its March session for a public hearing. And so the county's decision is going to be dependent on, obviously, they can't make a decision until Secr's updated. So this is the threshold step that we have to take. Once the city planning board affirms Secra, that will give the tools that the county needs to make a decision. And if and when that crossing is granted to us, then we will come back and then finish up the site plan approval process. But we'll have the crossing in hand, and we'll have secret behind us at that point.
So I know we have a resolution here as well. Do the typos, can that be handled on staff level, or do we need to have Mike talk about that tonight before we move forward?
Well, I think Javid provided the explanation, and he'll
Okay.
put that in writing to us. So
All right, I just didn't know
we'll
if you
get that.
I just didn't know if you needed to hear from Mike himself tonight. So I mean,
No, I
Okay.
would, that's a fine explanation. It
Okay.
satisfies me. I mean, it's up to the board.
No,
to make
and
the
I'm good with that
decision.
too.
It's not my decision.
That I'm good with that too. So
Okay, all right.
Any questions from the board? Okay. I think we can move on to resolution now, Sue.
That's fine with me.
Okay. All right. I don't have to refill my water for this one, so that's good. All right. All right. Resolution of the City of Kingston Planning Board reaffirming a determination of negative declaration of environmental significance for Kingston Meadows senior housing under the Seeker process 6 NYCRR Part 617. Whereas the Hudson Valley Housing Development Fund Company, the applicant, through their attorney, submitted a communication dated December 29th, 2021, requesting the Kingston Planning Board reaffirm a previously issued negative declaration of environmental significance dated January 14th, 2013, with an amended date of October 18th, 2021. And whereas the applicant has a pending project located at 191-199 Rear Hurley Avenue, 203 and 205 Hurley Avenue, and 493-495 Washington Avenue. Section blocks and lot are 48.70-1-7.200, 48.71-2-1, 48.70-1-15.1, and 15.2, known as Kingston Meadows, that is proposed as a single 3-story structure with 58 one-bedroom and 2 two-bedroom units. Other supporting services such as laundry, community rooms, and lounges are also incorporated into the uses of the structure. The site plan also provides for a variety of site amenities and required elements such as parking, landscaping, etc. And whereas the applicant provided supplemental documentation / communications and updated HVH applications, which include green plan letter dated December 29th, 2021, written by J. Theodore Fink, AICP. Letter A is site location maps. Letter B, preliminary site plans. Letter C, January 14th, 2013 Planning Board resolution and negative declaration. Letter D, December 29th, 2021 seeker assessment prepared by Green Plan Incorporated. Letter E, August 15th, 2021 wetland delineation report prepared by Ecological Solutions, LLC. Letter F, November 4, 2021 permanent easement between HVH and Ulster County. Letter G, December 27, 2021 traffic evaluation update as prepared by Creighton Manning. Letter H, July 29th, 2021 noise assessment update prepared by AKRF. Letter I, August 2 of 2021 air quality assessment update prepared by AKRF. Letter J, August 11, 2021 Central Hudson will serve letter. Letter K, October 18th, 2021, Nycrr Tier 3 documentation for no fossil fuel. Letter L, December 7th, 2020, Energy Star Partnership Agreement. Letter M, May 20th, 2021, RCAL Agreement. Letter N is August 24, 2021, Market Study prepared by Chazen Companies. Letter O, August 2nd, 2021, Site Suitability Update as prepared by Chazen Companies. Letter P, October 18th, 2021, Planning Board Resolution. Letter Q, Summary of Changes to Seeker Regulations. Letter R is May 10, 2018, ZBA Minutes. Letter S, December 22nd, 2021, Ecological Solutions LLC, Response to the ACOA RFI.
Wayne?
Letter, yes.
That letter, that date is going to be corrected. That is the one letter, the communication that was in question. So that
Okay.
date will be a new date that I will replace. I believe it's going to end up being a January date. The same will be confirmed for the one just below it.
Okay. Is it what January, do we have a January date for that on the?
I do
letter F?
not have the exact date, but I will get
Okay.
that and I will replace that.
That will be a January of 2022?
Yes,
Okay,
both would be January 2022.
okay,
Either the 20th or the 21st. We'll confirm.
okay. Letter T, that date is in question too, whether it was 20 or 21?
Yes,
Okay, so it'll be a January of 2022 pre-construction notice under nationwide permit number 29. Letter U is a filed easement instrument. Letter V, county easement map and plan. Letter W, January 21st, 2022, threatened and endangered species / habitat suitability report. That's a correct date as well, Sue?
that is.
Okay. A letter X is January 18th, 2022, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service species list, and letter Y, amended site plan, which is removing land dedication. Communications, we have a cover letter from Jared Afzali on February 2nd, 2022. Letter from Javid on same date, February 2nd, 2022. Letter from Theodore Fink on February 2nd, 2022. And a letter from Larry Paggi on January 28th of 2022. Whereas the planning board recognizes the original January 13th, 2013 resolution and adopted negative determination, along with supporting documents, as well as October 18th, 2021 amendment resolution and the documents updated and noted above. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Kingston Planning Board as follows. Section 1, that pursuant to 6 NYC-RR Part 617, the City of Kingston Planning Board hereby reaffirms their previous determination of negative environmental significance, recognizing and incorporating all conditions and materials described herein as final. Section 2, that all identified, involved, and interested agencies will be notified of the Kingston Planning Board determination of this decision. Section 3, that the Kingston Planning Office is directed to submit notice to the State Environmental News Bulletin for publication as required by the statute. And Section 4, that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Wayne Platt here, I will make a motion that we adopt this resolution. Do I have a second?
Second, Robert Jacobson.
Second by Robert Jacobson. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
and Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, the resolution is adopted. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Chairman Platt and members of the planning board. We appreciate your time. And Director Cahill will touch base with you when we hear back from the county to move this thing forward.
Okay.
And I'll follow up with
Thank
those
you.
follow-up items with you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you
Very
very
well.
much. Thank you.
Okay,
everyone.
Peg.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Okay. Performance bond reduction. We're in item 14. Let me go back to my notes here.
And Chuck Snyder is here.
Okay.
Chuck, do you know if Keith is going to be coming?
No, I don't believe so. I can. I'll
Okay.
represent for him.
All right. Let me just read into record here. Item 14 is 300 Flatbush Avenue, which is Landmark Place. Request for reduction of performance bond for site work completed to date. Section block and lot is 48.74-3-14.100. Seeker determination, Zone RR, Ward 6. Rupco Incorporated is the applicant owner. Let the record show that Chuck Snyder's here right now. Greetings. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. So we're waiting for somebody else too, Chuck, or
No,
do we need?
just
Okay.
me. You need a brief explanation from me as to what we're doing here?
Sure.
So I would just say that the landmark place project is approximately 95% complete right now. We occupied the restoration of the Alms House in October, and the new building is if I'm lucky, we will occupy April 1st, give or take. So it's really clean up right now. The request is to reduce the original bond amount for the site work from 1.5 million to, we proposed 2, and I guess staff came back with a revised number of 3. It just helps in a situation that the project's a little bit extended because of the pandemic, and all of my soft costs are starting to push out. This being one of those, for the contractor to carry another year's worth at 1.5 versus 3 is somewhat significant to the project, and we'd appreciate any consideration the board can give.
Okay. And so we're looking at, as staff has reviewed this, the reduction is to $292,584.
Correct. That's from the original 1.5.
Okay.
We went through this with their original bond cost estimate, which was broken down in great detail. So John Schultes, the city engineer, and I went through it. We also had the water department weighed in on this as well, because there's obviously they're involved with it, but we felt that this was, a fair amount after doing a site visit. We looked at each of the lines, signed off, agreed to the most part, but there were some that John wanted to hold back, some additional monies, in particular the ones that really are the critical ones for the as-built plans. And I've talked to Keith Leibold, whose company is holding the bond, and he's aware of the as-built requirements for the final release. So he's working on those right now, I believe, as we speak as well.
Okay. And this is a significant reduction, so that's pretty good. And I'm glad to hear that the project is 95% complete, and full completion within the next several weeks. So hats off to Rupco for that and their staff. Is everybody good with the amount as illustrated in staff notes here? The reduction to that amount? A thumbs up. Good, Sue?
Yep.
Okay. Wayne Platt here. I will make a motion that we reduce the performance bond for 300 Flatbush Avenue to the balance now will show $292,584. Do I have a second on that?
Second, Robert Jacobson.
Is that Robert? Okay.
Robert.
Second by Robert Jacobson. All in favor, Wayne Platt as a yes. Chuck Polacco,
Yes.
Robert Jacobson,
Yes.
Matt Gillis,
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
Okay, that is approved. Chuck, thank you for stopping by tonight. Always good to see you.
Thank you. It was a lot
right.
of. When are we going?
What's that?
When are we going live?
Oh,
Maybe never.
We've had one in-person session since this whole thing has been going on, and then we had to go back to this. So I'm ready for it as well. I really am.
Okay,
So,
next time we'll see.
Hopefully.
Thank
Okay.
you. Night.
Thank you. Good night. All right. All right. Moving on to a planning board policy. Board policy 17B, a proposed board policy to be in compliance with affordable housing legislation. That's self-explanatory, right, Sue?
Yeah, it's, it is, I mean, it's, legislatively it's adopted, but the board policies are useful too, because they're in a written form and they're handed to the applicants as part of the application materials. So it's also another way of us to just inform them that this is out there and that this is a requirement in advance of them even submitting application materials. So they know about it. It's really important.
And I agree with it because, there have been some applications that have come through your office that have reached the planning board, the board level itself, where the applicants seem to not know about it until they are in this Zoom. And it just happened last month, right down there in West Union Street. So
yes, it did.
That area. So I think it makes sense to do this. It lets the applicants know what the regulations are pertaining to that. So for me personally, I'm in favor of it. So any other thoughts from board members?
I agree.
I have a question in general about the inclusionary zoning policy. There's nothing that dictates that the developers, for instance, in Bluestone Commons or in the Kingstonian, there's nothing that dictates that the developers have to interdisperse the affordable units amongst the market rate, right? They could clump them all together.
I believe it is in the legislation.
Oh, it is. Oh, good.
Council's legislation that they cannot be segregated to or clustered in one area, that they're dispersed.
Good. Okay.
Otherwise, that'd be discriminatory.
Yeah. Good question, Ed. All right.
I just wasn't sure if it was explicit.
Yeah. Any other questions or points? Okay. Wayne Platt here. I will make a motion that we approve the implementation to the addition of board policy 17B, which is compliance with affordable housing legislation. Make that a part of our list of board policies that we deal with. Do I have a second on that?
Matt seconds.
Matt Gillis with a second. Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Polacco.
Yes.
Robert Jacobson.
Yes.
Matt Gillis.
Yes.
Vince Archer.
Yes.
All right, that is approved. Okay. Anything else?
Question, Wayne.
Yeah.
I guess this is the Sue. Could you, we've made several changes. Could you send out a list of all the new board policies so that we'll be up to date with them all?
Yeah, we can send it out. It is posted, but yeah, absolutely more than happy to send it up. Well, because we'll be updating what's posted online. So more than happy to do that. I know Kyle has sent around a note earlier today. There's meetings on tomorrow night and Thursday night, there are virtual meetings online, dealing with the new zoning. In particular, these ones are going to focus on Hurley and Albany Avenues and then the Rondout waterfront. So, and there are walks on Saturday if anybody is interested. That's weather dependent right now. That's not looking like it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other business before this board, folks? All right, Wayne Platt here with a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Add seconds.
Matt Gillis with a second. All in favor, Wayne Platt is a yes. Charles Palaco?
Yes.
Robert Jacobson?
Yes.
Matt Gillis?
Yes.
And Vince Archer?
Yes.
That is approved, adopted. Thank you, everybody. Emily and Sage and Matt Jankowski, thank you for joining us tonight. And we'll see each other next month, okay?
We will probably have the county back next month as well.
Okay.
So it's a good thing we cleared a couple big things off the agenda.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Sue.
Have a good night,
Kyla,
everybody.
also.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.